What's up, locker room? What's up? What's up? What's up? I cannot believe we're running into week 11 right now of the NFL season. Thank you for joining me right here on my YouTube channel. I call it the locker room because that's what it is. That's the place that I would call my greatest moments in life have been in locker rooms. So that's why I like to call this the locker room. My greatest learning in life have been in locker rooms. You know what I'm saying? My most sharing in life has never been on a table or couch of a psychiatrist. It's been in a locker room. So right here is where I will give all that I have to all that is here, sharing with me in the locker room right here on my YouTube channel. Let's get into this week because I always call this Live Wednesday. It's about you. You know, there's a lot going on. Monday, we talk about what's coming out of the weekend, the results. Friday, we're talking about what's about to happen going into the weekends. But this day, right here, Wednesday, is about you guys, man. I want to hear from you guys, what you guys want to talk about, what's important to you, things like that. That's how we grow, talking with, not at one another. That means you and I both sharing what we know one with another, talking and sharing for each other. That's what we're going to do here now. And I'll let you guys run up. Hit me up. Let me know what you want to talk about while I just jump into something I saw. Two things, because I haven't talked to you since that Monday night football game. I just, I got to always cover the NFC East. And the Eagles played Monday night. A lot has been going on because I watch everything after the game. And I watch everything Tuesday and see what everybody's talking about. And everybody's talking about, of course, the Eagles' offense not getting on track, and are they really viable still to go, and are they the top team in the NFC? And I'm still saying yes to that. I'm still saying yes to that. Is there trouble in Eagle land? I'm going to say there's always a possibility of trouble in Eagles land when you get Saquon Barkley running for 60 yards and only 60 yards. This was a 2,000-yard rusher last year. Vontae Smith made some plays, but again, A.J. Brown only 13 yards last week. You know, he gets 13 yards and you only win the game 10-7. You know he's talking. Whether we hear it or not, he's saying something. And I'm knowing, and you guys have already heard him say something. So yes, I tell you what I thought about Monday Night too, also. And I certainly heard Michael Parsons going at Colin Cowherd and all of that stuff and all the stuff you guys hear right here. I've certainly heard, seen all of that stuff too. You know, I was thinking about Michael Monday night too. And that defense kept Philly in check. You know, the defense did keep Philly in check. And the truth is, I was like, I know he's tight with Jordan Love. And Jordan Love, I like Jordan Love. He's married to my guy, my lineman, Ron Stone's daughter. You know, so I'm wishing him the best and hoping the best because, Stone is family. So his daughter is family. So I want Jordan Love to do well to take care of my little niece over there, But that wasn't what he did Monday night. That thing was not right Monday night. And there have been, which is kind of interesting because I think more with Jordan Love, we get these waves and people say, oh my God, I don't know if he has it more than anything. And I'm kind of surprised that I get it more with Jordan Love, way more than I get with Trevor Lawrence. And he was the number one pick in the whole draft. So that's interesting to know. It does seem like Trevor Lawrence kind of get a pass with Jacksonville. Certainly, Jordan Love can't get that because he's coming behind Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So that's just got to be what it is. Jordan Love has to be better and play consistently better for that team to get where they want to be. But also, guys, we watched that Monday night, right? But and we got this game coming up Thursday night. Not many people are talking about it. It's the Jets. It's the Patriots. Not many people going to talk about it. But I'm going to, of course, watch that game because I need to verify things that I have seen. And I need to look a little bit closer, look a little bit deeper, study and discern it a little bit better. I said to you guys right here that there will be no dominant teams this year. And I said all these teams will end up 11-6, 12-5. At best, 13-4. But we don't see no 15-2, 16-1s. I didn't believe that would be the case because there's no dominant football teams. And I really didn't even give New England a chance to be considered a dominant football team. And I'm vexed on my analysis or my own understanding. I don't know which one it is because when I said dominant, I meant a team that will destroy and go through this whole league. We've seen dominant franchise. We've seen dominant football teams, and they destroy and go through the league. I was not even thinking in the breath or in the mind of a New England Patriots. Everybody will talk about how easy, well, the New England Patriots got an easy schedule. Yeah, but they still have to perform, and they have performed. Can we call New England a dominant team? New England has won 7 straight games. 7 straight games. And that's why I got to watch this game tomorrow night. I got to figure this out. 7 straight games. And the next 3 opponents they play only have 7 win total. So I'm looking at New England, the Jets, the Bengals, and I'm looking at New England to truly come out of this 10-2. Because it's not the kind of team that's going to have a kind of mental letdown or a real bad game where they're turning the ball over or jumping off sides because they're too well coached for that. I talk to you guys when I'm watching Mike Vrabel pull hair and holding guys' hands that are hurt. I tell you, so yeah, that's the part. That's the only part I'm vexed on because I said there will be no dominant teams. Can we call New England a dominant team? Even if everybody's saying it's the soft schedule that they have, will they still be this good when they go up against the Kansas City Chiefs and the other teams in the AFC that's a top team in the AFC? Now, I know in these next 3 games, they got Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow now is trying to trend to get back on the football field. And that could make a difference, a huge difference. But Cincy's problem has not been the quarterback issue that it was when Browning, now that Flacco's there. Cincy's problem has been defense. It's remained to be defense. And you can when I look at a game like that, and I see how New England plays hard, tough-nosed football. So Cincinnati, when they play Cincinnati, I know this Thursday they're worried about the Jets, but when they play Cincinnati, Cincinnati has an explosive offense. They'll have to jump out on New England and force this game to be Drake May's game. No running. If they got a chance to win this game. I don't think the Jets got a chance because I just don't think the Jets got a chance. The only thing they do have is it's in the division. And you're comfortable playing division teams because you play them so well, so much that you know them. So it's going to be interesting. I watch the game, but I'm watching the game for confirmations on what I'm seeing with the Pats. I'm not watching the game to expect the Jets to do anything to the New England Patriots. I don't see that, man. I'm telling y'all, you're going to watch this Patriots team. The problem is, too, when you have this kind of early success, you win 7 games in a row, you get solidified in the believing. You get You get to believe in really wholeheartedly, let it get engrafted with your spirit what the coach is teaching and preaching. And this coach is teaching and preaching discipline, playing right, playing well, playing hard together. So when they get to teams like Cincinnati that has an explosive team, a group of receivers and an explosive plays, they're just going to pound the ball and shrink the game. They're going to give you less opportunities to make big plays and tell you, let's see if you can grind it out with us and play the long game. That's what they're going to do. So I can't wait to see it. I got to start saying I do believe that New England will compete with those other teams, compete with teams like Kansas City because of the style in the Vrabel's defense. They will compete. I don't know if I can call them dominance or dominating, even though winning 7 games in a row, that's dominating in all NFL teams. If you win 7 games in a row, you guys tell me that you call the New England Patriots a dominating football team in the National Football League right now. You know what I mean? Right now. I call Philadelphia a dominating football team because Philly's winning with anything and everything in all kinds of ways. I haven't seen New England have to win 4 or 5 different ways. They played the games tight to the vest. They've been able to play their games. But Philly has not played their best game and are able to win every game. So that team can be dominant if they get all things clicking. But I'm still a little vexed on how I see the New England Patriots. I know a lot of you guys too. I see some guys that heard about and talked about and seen this thing with the Syracuse football coach. And we'll talk about all of that stuff that went on with the Syracuse football coach, which trips me out. What tripped me out. You guys, if you haven't seen it, it's been everywhere. I get people coming up to me, asking me about Coach Fran Brown when he came, because he came up to me after the game and said, so I respect everything you've accomplished, but don't get used to this shit. And I was like, oh, don't get used to this. Don't get used to this. I thought to myself, this was a very, very crucial moment here. And I don't know why. I guess I do know why. Fran came over. He wanted to say, what's up? Or I understand him. He's recruiting. He's recruiting. And I told you guys, Miami's a premier program. Everybody wants to combat Miami as much as they can. Now, he just lost the game 38-10, and whatever the score was. And he's coming over saying, don't get used to this. The last time Syracuse won a national championship was 1959. I mean, I got nothing against the brother, but trying to grab clout and telling me don't get used to it. And the last time you won a championship was 1959. I think people are kind of used to it. You know what I mean? But now I like his moxie. And as I said to him, I like your intensity because it's going to take that kind of intensity to turn around a team that had won since 1959. Here's what I say to all of this, guys. Here's what I say to all of this. This works great. Because if it works, oh man, he was the little guy with a big bark and delivered a big bite. That's what Fran Brown will be known for. If it works, if he can get Syracuse to a national championship, anywhere, get them in the playoffs, get them close to it. If they'll said, man, he talked the talk and then he walked the walk. Remember, he said that to Mike Irvin when he was yelling at Coach from Coach Cristobal, and then after the game, he went. Mike Irvin said, "Don't get used to it." And now look at him, man. He did it, man. He's on this stage, man. I like a man like that who could talk the talk and then walk the walk. But if it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, You know, if all that you're doing on social media, because you want all the young men to see it on social media, so you can help recruit. If it doesn't work, if you don't go get those players, if you don't go turn it around, this now that it would, in one aspect, if it worked, it becomes a great asset. It becomes a great asset in this aspect. It's like, man, he talked the talk and he delivered the walk. But on this side, if it doesn't work, it becomes a great liability because they'll say, man, you talked a lot. Noah talked back at coach, went up to Mike Irvin, said all of that. And each year, we still ain't going nowhere. I mean, you talked the big talk, but you didn't deliver the big delivery. People people asking me about it on social media. Michael, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? He's still short. God, wait, please, guys, we're way past that. Let me say it this way. Thank God we way past that. You know what I'm saying? We way beyond me whooping anybody's ass on national TV with kids right here sitting around looking at us after a game. Way beyond that, you know. I was absolutely proud of myself in the way I handled things. I look at my own growth. I'm serious, guys. I really do. I look at my own growth. I think about even a little junk like that to young Mike Irvin, whole different dude. Whole different dude. You know, I held this, and people say, man, I held this hand for a while after he said it, just to make sure he was just saying it. He didn't want to smoke it. He was just saying it. He was just saying it. So I held his hand, and he finally snatched his hand away, like, okay, I got you, you know. But, but I thought, you know, that's growth. You know, because I told you guys, I have that reptilian brain. You attack me, I think attack back, and I have to learn how to control all of that because it gets you in a lot of trouble. And if you study it, it'll tell you knowing that you have this it's 80% of the battle, you know, because it works well for me on the football field. You challenge me, I'll whoop your butt. I mean, I would literally whoop your butt on the football field. It works well. But when I leave the football field and I'm just driving and somebody's saying something or challenge me or cut me off, I'm still going crazy about it. You know, like I had to get that under control. Like, like, you know, I'm on a different thing now. It's not about, for me, it's not about showing someone I'm tough. It's about, you know, it's about doing the right thing here. It's about doing the right thing. It's about trying to give what you got to these young men and not doing anything to dampen or to deafening their ear. And you know, coach coming up to me, that could have gotten ugly if I hadn't had this personal growth. You know what I'm saying? If I was still the young ghetto Michael Irvin coming out of the ghetto who was ready to do anything to get out of the hellhole he grew up in. You know, I think about the dumb things I've done, stupid things like even the teammate stuff I went through with MacGyver and all of that, and at that moment, flashing the fight or flight flashes that went through my head, and then when my mind started coming back, I'm sitting in the midst of all this blood, saying, "What have I done?" You know, I'm glad that I matured past all of that young Michael Irvin that would have done anything to get to where he wanted to be, you know. So I was able to handle that, I think, properly. Saying and try to use it. Say, Coach, listen, man, you don't need that intensity. So hold on to it, you know. But my goal is right. I got kids right around here ready to say what's up, Michael, and talk to me. So I wasn't focused on that. And I'm gonna tell you guys something too, because I get people hitting me up on Twitter. Man, Mike, you should have whooped this dude. But are you joking? Like, oh my God. I sat here, I went off on Stephen A. I went off on I didn't go off with Stephen A. I told Stephen A. He did a great job when I talked to him. When I saw the LeBron and Stephen A. thing, I went off on all black men and brothers that were trying to tell Stephen A. why you ain't tough here. Why didn't you step up and face LeBron? You should have swung on LeBron. I said, stop being stupid. Stop saying stuff like that. Why would you want the world to see something like that? These two brothers fighting. These are two prominent brothers fighting. Well, in the middle of a basketball game. I thought the same thing here when Coach came up. And come on, Coach. Come on, man. It's the last thing we need. We two brothers, man. I thought I even thought this like, what is it? Remember Steve Smith tried me on TV, and then this guy tried me, and both of them, they're this tall. I mean, I love Steve Smith, but they're this tall. I'm like, do I look like somebody you want to play with like that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Yeah. But to all of that, to all of it, I want us to understand the important thing. One thing that could not happen is to see two brothers like that in that situation out here in a scrape, in a scrap. Are you joking, man? That would be the worst thing in the world to happen. Now, it would be the worst thing for Coach Brown if it happened, but it would be the worst thing visually for you guys to see if that happened. And to me, that would be the worst thing if I lose my cool like that. After all of the help and all the knowledge I've gotten about, that kind of situation and how I am built. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be real careful. You guys, we can talk about that. You tell me, guys, what you guys think about that situation. Since I've gotten so much on it, okay, it says, hey, Steve White says it takes a great man to be this open. Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Steve. And I'm being real. I'm being real. I worry about situations like that more than anything, man. I do. I swear I worry about those because I know I'm not on the football field anymore. I'm not playing anymore. Each day when I'm driving and somebody says something or, cut me off, I'm like, I'm sorry. That's on me. I over apologize. I'll get behind the car and get back beside them and say, hey, man, I'm sorry, man. Oh, Michael, I know what you do, because I don't want it to escalate. Hey, I'm better. I'm better. I'm not going, but I don't want you testing it and testing me, I don't want to test if I'm better or not. So I appreciate you saying that, brother. And that's what it is about. It's about being open. You know what I mean? When you get older, you get wiser and more patient. But sometimes, dog, hold on, go back. Who said that? I always say, go to get, you ain't lying, dog. You tell the truth right there. It shaved the devil. You know, and let me tell you something. You guys sit here and listen to me and think, man, we can just go do anything to Michael if you want. All right, now I'm gonna hold it back as best I can, and I'm strong. But ain't nobody ever called me Hercules. Now, I ain't the only way. I ain't the strongest dude in the world. So don't be coming trying too much, And I'm always worried about don't lose it. Don't lose it. Just keep it cool. You're not fighting to come out of a hellhole anymore. You're out of the hellhole. Woosah. Woosah. You know what I'm saying? A whole different thing, man. Y'all know, man. Huh? Yeah. What do you mean, Ultra Cowboy? Stephen A. Smith reminds me of a muffin. Come on, man. Leave Stephen A. alone. Everybody's on Stephen A. Y'all see that right now, him and and I guess that's part for the course also. He's top guy in the business right now. And everything is about shooting at the top guy. Everybody wants to be the top guy. I hear, excuse me, the Michelle girl that used to be at ESPN, and they're going back and forth right now. And Stephen A. smartly says it. He says, all right, enough's enough. I'm going to clap back. He didn't do it on first day. Where he's clapping back at? On his YouTube channel, where he can speak a little bit more open, a little bit more direct, a little bit more free. He still got to be monitored because he does have to go back on air at ESPN, but it gives him a chance to share a little bit more of him without Big Brother hovering over his head and watching. You know what I mean? He wants, there's nothing wrong about that. He wants this, nothing wrong about that. Yeah. You talking about Fran Brown wants, he wants success. He wants to have a prominent program. He wants to build it and put it in a national eye where they're talking about it every week. They're talking about Miami every week. We've earned that with all the championships we won here and the kind of dynasty Miami had here. We talk about Colorado every week. And Colorado hadn't won in a while, but Dion brings such things and cachet, and then he has all kind of stars on the sideline all the time, so you get to see all of that, and he does so much with social media. Fran just said, hey, how do I get in this thing? And he thought, I'll do it this way. And that's his way of trying to, I guess he can't do it the other ways. But like I said, time will tell. And time will say, did you do this the right way? Did you accomplish what you said? Or did you just huff and puff and never blow down in a house? I appreciate that, Spunky Gopher. Spunky Gooner, is that it? Spunky Gooner? Appreciate that love, man. You go right there, my brother. You know what I mean? Yeah, but this thing is great because this social media won't forget. So rather, no matter how it plays out, you guys will be bringing that stuff back up. Like if he goes 2-9 next year and 3-8 following year, 7-5, you'll bring all of this up. Like, man, you were talking all this noise. I'm like, don't get used to it. You guys are getting used to it. So I just hope I hope it works out for him. We used to fight over a dirty look. It's stupid now, but it was necessary back then. You know what? Listen, Sap. Hey, Sap, you right. You hit a nail on the head here that I want to talk about here for a minute. You're right. We used to fight over a dirty look, right? Back in the day, because you had nothing. We had nothing. So anything, since you don't have anything, you think everybody thinks is yours nothing. So somebody look at you dirty, you start saying, well, you look at me for look at me disrespecting me. Because they look at you in a way that's not pleasing to you, you consider that disrespect. And you're ready to fight back then. Because you had nothing to lose, and it was all about your ego. It's all about the ego. Man, everybody ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing to lose. You were looking at me like so you jumped out. But as you go, as you grow, yeah, you gotta put that thing down. And that's what it means. What the Bible said when I was a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I had to put away childish things. I can't now jump out here and want to fight everybody about nothing. From walking down the street, somebody's yelling. You got to keep walking. What does that matter? I'm gonna go over here and get crazy on people. You know what I mean? You're past that. You're past that. So that's all I'm saying. I'm past that. It's gonna take some. For I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't swinging on nobody. I ain't thinking about it. I'm just talking about. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do and how I can help these kids. Are the Cowboys going to get some stops, or will Gina look like an MVP Monday night? Gino gonna look like an MVP. We just going. The Cowboys will need Dak to outplay Geno. There is no. Now, let me back up. Let me back up because I don't want to rob myself here of what I'm looking forward to. I am absolutely looking forward to what happens with this defense because Quentin Williams and Clark on the tackles. And the one thing I'm excited about is Overshown working towards getting back on the football field. I don't know the status, but I'm hoping. As a matter of fact, Nathan, see if they say anything about Overshown's status and send it to me. I'm hoping that this is the game just to get him back out there. I don't expect him to be fully what I want him to be and what he is, but his spirit matters a great deal. And the Cowboys need that on the football field right now. His spirit, his lift, the way he plays, to see him back, seeing how hard he has worked, his aura, he brings people together. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait. I believe you get Quentin Williams and Overshown that you're solidifying the center of that defense. You will see a vast change in this defense. First of all, anything you see in this defense would be a vast change in this defense because they have stopped nothing. So stopping anything would be good. And I believe you're going to see some marked improvements in the defense. How much? How will it be? I mean, I think how I see it is you'll get more stops. Now, here is what I don't know. And I think that makes all the difference in the world. I don't know if you'll get more turnovers. Getting stops one thing, getting turnovers are better. And that's what the Cowboys defense, even the last few years when it wasn't a great defense, it was always able to get turnovers to stay right in the hunt of things. And now with that offense, you get turnover, get the ball back to the offense, you got a chance. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know, and let me say why. Because now, okay, if you can plug up the runs, now we're going to get more opportunities at third and long or third down plays. Because you got two big guys plugging up the run. We won't see this third and one, third and two all the time where there's a turnaround handing off the ball. And if you're behind, it would get you behind the sticks to put you in some of those third and longer situations. Now you have to throw the ball and you get an opportunity to make some plays on the football. So that I want to see how much, not just those two big boys, now that you have those tackles, can start to slow down the run. How much can you slow down the run enough to put them in third down long situations so that you can get more turnovers and give more possessions to your offense instead of hoping and praying for this defense that looks like a Swiss cheese defense with holes everywhere to block everybody and stop everybody. That's what we're not going to hope for because we know that ain't going to happen. That's just the real. That ain't going to happen. Angry Cowboy fan. We spammed lamb too much last Monday, huh? What? We spammed lamb. Oh, what would that mean? I gotta figure that one out, huh? What we spam lamb? You think? Are you saying? Is he saying we're trying to get the ball to lamb too much? Because I've been hearing this thing kind of come up a lot too. Where everybody said we need to try to get George Pickens the ball more. You know, and I like I understand what you're saying because you're looking at Pickens. Pickens has so many touchdowns. Lamb only has one. I want you to understand this now because Pickett's playing outside. Lamb's manipulating the whole core of a defense. Pickett's, whose spot is outside, has to beat that outside guy. I'm with you guys in this sense. I think the best way to attack a team is you got to have that outside guy. You got to have that outside guy. Usually, you're attacking them with the outside guy, and the inside slot guy is your check down guy. After I read the play outside to see if the big play there, then I come down, check down inside, and find those plays. What we've done is flipped it and made down that slot guy the primary guy. Remember, the slot guys used to always be the small, quick, fast guys. They were never the number one primary receiver. Tyreek Hill has changed this part of the game with all the movement inside and moving him around, everything. But George Pickens, if you get that outside force, that is a force to be reckoned with, because out here, he's only moving around his triangle, that corner, that safety, you're worried about that linebacker. CD's running around worried about everybody on the football field because they're all trying to get their hands on him and move around. So I do believe we got to make sure we get picking some opportunities, but not at the expense of cutting off CeeDee Lamb's opportunities. That's where Dak is comfortable. We start throwing out here all day. I don't know if we start getting too many turnovers and everything. You know, I like you being able to manipulate the defense and be able to take those drives down the field and add in the George Pickens on the deep ball. But I do agree, we should not go any game without him having at least 6, 7 targets himself. I know he's averaging like 5 catches a game right now, but I'm talking about at least 6, 7, 8 targets himself. CeeDee Lamb is getting the targets he'll get his targets, but you got to open up and get that guy outside some chances to make sure he gets involved. CeeDee Lamb can't catch a cold. Come on, built different. You are built different if you really believe that. You've seen enough. Come on, stop playing now. You know what I mean? You just wanted to get your name called out, I gave it to you. You're built different if you're thinking that way. You're built shoulders up different, right in the mind. You ain't built stable. Come on now. Come on, built different. Be built different. Be built different. Don't do that. Don't do that right there. You know what I mean? Cowboy defense can't stop a midget. That's politically incorrect. It's small people. Nah, I don't know. I just read that right there. You know, hey, yeah, hey, I'm just gonna leave Built Different alone. Boy, he's just tripping right now. You're a funny dude, Joe. You're a funny dude, man. Hey, this YouTube channel is so incredible. You are free here. Oh, you're so free here. I am, man. Don't go back to TV. Stay here. I'm with you, man. Stay here with you. I'm with that. I'm with that. This is great for me. I love it. I get to sit here and talk the way I want to talk and not like they tell you to talk. You can't say this and you can't say that. And the hypocrisy reminds me of Doc Holliday. You know how many years I sat on TV and they don't say nothing about gambling. Don't say nothing about gambling. If you say anything, look, they'll definitely win by at least 3 points. You can't, don't say that. They don't think we gambling. They don't think we gambling. And then they ran and opened their pockets up and take all the gambling money. So all them years that you made everybody, you couldn't even say anything like that on TV. And then as soon as the NFL, they want an integrity fee and they get all kind of money from the DraftKings and all of this. Man, all I can say is Doc Holliday. The hypocrisy here is insane. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just that's crazy to me. But I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that whole sentiment right there, because I too feel more free and able to talk. I want to talk about it and talk about things that we want to talk about and say things without. Yeah, I'm telling you, dog. That watchdog on TV is no joke. He has gotten. It is different. It is different and difficult. To be honest with you, different and difficult. I love you so much. You're my idol, and I look up to you. Go Cowboys. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Gabrielle Flores. I have Flores. Isn't that who taking over? I was thinking about that. Who taking over Brian the Bull? Brian Flores over in New York. We didn't even talk about Brian the Bull, Brian Coach the Bull getting fired, man. You know what I mean? You should make more shows. Epic skills. I am making more shows. I appreciate you saying that. I am working on some things, and we're all going to have fun with that. Just kind of open up and do some things that I've always wanted to do, and bring attention to some things that I've always wanted to bring some attention to. So that'll be fun for me. Where you have Mike McCarthy in here? LOL. Who you trying to talk about? You talking about Mike McCarthy getting a job in New York? You think they'll even give Mike McCarthy an opportunity to interview for those jobs? I wonder, that'd be interesting, huh? You think we'll see some Mike McCarthy's, yeah, this offseason coming around? That'd be interesting. Be interesting. Because he is out there. I'm sure he wants to get back into coaching now. Yep, after walking away from Dallas. So yeah, I don't know. Would you guys want Mike McCarthy in New York, knowing you're going to see him twice a year, play against him twice a year? See how that works. I think that'd be interesting. To see. Big Mike will be back. Yeah, I'm sure he will. J Cog 84 says Big Mike will be back. Yeah, just not back here in Dallas. I don't mind him coming back. Just not back here in Dallas, man. Yeah, I don't know about that right there. You know what I mean? But I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do in New York. And since I haven't spoken on it, let coach go out of New York. I don't know that I would have done that right now, even though I'm promising you, I know I wouldn't have brought him back for next year. I don't know if I'd have let him go during the year. I'm not worried about the whole football team, to be honest with you, because a lot of what I got now ain't going to be my star next year. I would have kept coach in place for one reason, and that's the quarterback. I know he's gotten a few concussions and everybody wants him not to get the concussions, but that's not all coach's fault. I still want the young man to learn and stay right here where his learning system is and get what he can get out of it. And I watch how Coach Brady the Bull brought along Josh Allen, and he has some of the similar talents. That's what I liked it from. I wanted him to have that coaching, Jason Dart the rest of this season. I'm not worried about everybody else. Scatterboo is not there. Late Neighbors is not there. Those guys will be playing next year. This year should have only been about Dart. And I would not have cut the coach off right here. I would have left him training my young quarterback for the rest of this season. And then soon as they finish the last game, if it's on the road, I'd have told him get his own ride back home. You see what I'm saying? But you've given me all you can give me because you still got to finish paying him the rest of this year. So I would have gotten that work out of him for my quarterback. That's the only thing. That's what the emotions get in the way. What good did it do letting him go right here? Now, if you're going to have Brian Flores become your next head coach and you wanted to give him a jump on it, and you say that, okay. We were looking at him as the next head coach, so we wanted to give him a look. So now I make that move. Even though, remember what was going on in Miami with a young Tua in that quarterback. I'm just saying that's kind of stuff I'm talking about. I wouldn't have made that move right there and let him go. Yes, Tomlin, but I would say McVay too. Yeah, what do you mean? Yes, Tomlin. You like Mike Tomlin, but I would say McVay too. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about right there. Eagles are the worst, best team. Fools go. Yeah, yeah. I believe. I don't want to call it fool's goal. And I don't want to say they're the worst best team because they're not. They're the best team. It's the volatile. The volatile. And the emotions play such a big role in the game. I told you guys last year, the greatest thing that happened for Philly was the Saquon Barkley, stay calm Barkley. That's off their commercial. You know, hey, I'm not only Saquon Barkley, I'm also stay calm Barkley. And to have those kinds of numbers last year and say, that's not what matters. That's not what matters. It's winning that matters. That was one thing that the AJ Browns and all of them needed. This year, Saquon Barkley doesn't work because he's not getting enough yards. And now it's volatile again. AJ Brown ain't going for 2 catches for 13 yards. I don't care how stay calm ain't gonna say anything about rushing for 60 when he was rushing for 160 last year. But AJ, he ain't gonna let it go. I was trying to come up with something with AJ. AJ ain't just gonna stay. AJ won't stay. He ain't gonna stay calm. He ain't going to let it go. I'm just letting you guys know. 2 for 13 this week. When we start talking about rolling around, oh my God, I can't fathom it. Oh my God, y'all wait. Y'all wait. I tell you what. Wait. Let me tell you what's gonna hit it. Let me put it out here right now. In a couple weeks, when they start doing that, 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, right after Thanksgiving, when do they start talking about Pro Bowl voting? When they start talking about Pro Bowl voting, expect another wave. Because when they start talking about Pro Bowl voting, nobody's going to bring up A.J. Brown. And the conversations are going to be around who's the best receivers again in the National Football League. Two for 13, nobody's going to bring up A.J. Brown. And that's when A.J. Brown will be bringing up A.J. Brown. That's what I'm saying. So if the Eagles can get crunk up right now and start feeding that monster, feeding that monster, feeding that monster, then it's all great. It's all great. And remember, A.J. Brown told you last year, I thought winning the Super Bowl was going to make me feel some kind of way. But I really didn't get that feeling. So what was he telling you then? What was he telling you then? You know what he was telling you? I don't want to hear this noise next year. This ain't what I thought it would be. I feel better. I feel better catching 10, 12, 15 balls a game and not winning the Super Bowl than catching 2 balls a game and winning the Super Bowl. So you know that's going to be volatile. Because that's what I extrapolated from his conversation right after they won the Super Bowl. Even if you really didn't get the feeling that you thought you should have had from it, you still shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. Because what you really said was, I want the feeling of 10, 11 catches a game. I love that feeling. The feeling of winning a championship, it wasn't what I thought it was. But the feeling of catching 10, 11 passes a game, that's everything I think it is. You see what I'm saying? So now, yeah. So you can't get him with, man, doesn't matter how many passes you catch, man, as long as we win the game, as long as we win the championship, he already told you that didn't feel like he thought it would. So that ain't my main primary goal. I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't working that hard for a feeling that I didn't I didn't want. That ain't what I thought it would feel like. I thought it'd feel better than that. I want something better than that. And I know I get that feeling when I catch 15 balls a game. That's why I say evolve. And until we can wrap that up with more than just somebody reading the book on the sideline. They will remain volatile. And they are the best team. When you look at the teams they have beaten right now, they've beaten Kansas City. They've beaten every team. They just beat Green Bay, beat Tampa. So it'd be hard to say they're not the best team. But I tell you what was funny, because I asked you earlier about New England being able to match up with with the top teams like this. Now, no way New England should be able to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. But I believe they will. I believe they can. Because New England's going to play such solid, basic football. And they're going to play hard, and they're going to play together, and they'll fight hard, and they'll keep coming tighter and tighter together as Philly kind of resolve or dissolve if these two teams face each other. I guarantee you Vrabel will have something for A.J. Brown. You know what I'm saying? You know he'll have something for A.J. Brown. And he'll help frustrate A.J. Brown if those two ever saw each other. So if those, I don't care if it's in the Super Bowl, I absolutely believe New England can give this team all the smoke that this team would want. You know what I'm saying? It was barely besting people. Yeah, they are barely beating people. I'm sorry. They are barely beating people, but they're beating people. Last year, the Chiefs went all the way to the Super Bowl on those one-score games, and then got the Super Bowl because got blown out. This year, the Chiefs have been losing those one-score games. That's the measure in the NFL. It's that difference. You got to play well late. You got to win those one-score games. And the Eagles haven't played well, but they still win those one-score games. That makes all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world right there. Jerry should, what is it? Jerry should have got coach. Yeah, coach of New England. Yeah. Yeah, now let me tell you something. If you were trying to say right here, Gregory, Jerry should have gotten Mike Vrabel, I ain't lying. Shad is a great coach. Vrabel's a different dude. Vrabel is Belichick with the player's heart. He's Belichick with a player. So he's the kind of coach that will take a lesser team and make them better. Everybody can't do that. I think Vrabel's one of those coaches that'll still win with a lesser team. Sean McVay, he can put a game plan together. Kyle Shanahan is definitely one. You can give him any quarterback, and he can find a way to win football games. Every coach ain't like that. Every coach not like that. But those are a few of the great ones in the National Football League, and very few. No. There's not many. Well, there is not many. I don't even know if it's any that does it quite like Mike Vrabel. I don't know if it's any that does it quite like Mike Vrabel, getting the best out of the players that he has. And right now, that's exactly what he's doing with the Patriots. They are in heaven right now, and I can't wait to see them tomorrow night and see what happens, because I don't believe they'll have a fall off with this drop off over the next 3 weeks that they have in the schedule, playing these teams that has a combined 7 wins when they're coming off 7 wins in a row. I can't wait to watch that game tomorrow night, folks. That's been about our hour here to chat and break things down right here on the live. I can't wait to watch that game tomorrow night and then talk again on Friday. Appreciate your peeps spending the moment here in the locker room with the playmaker. And I'll see you and speak with you Friday. God bless my peeps.